All right, back to our top story now. Another big storm in Atlantic Canada, shuttering almost all the schools across the province. Saltwire's Scott Squires is in Fall River, Nova Scotia, joining us with the latest. Welcome back. I can still see all that snow in there behind you, Scott. What's it like where you are right now?
Good morning again, Anne-Marie. Nice to see you. It's snowy. I can hear snow blowers going, plows going. It was a snowfall that happened really quickly. Reports of 29 centimeters at Stanfield International Airport in Halifax, about 27 in Halifax itself. Unconfirmed reports, but seeing lots of posts on social media about upwards of 60 centimeters in Cape Breton. And yeah, right now there's just a lot of snow to be cleared out of walkways, driveways, of course, on highways and secondary roads. The commute certainly quite tricky this morning in almost all areas of the province. So as I mentioned when we chatted earlier, Anne-Marie, it's deja vu all over again.
Yeah, you know, I'm taking a look at the time. So this would be key commute time. You know, we know schools are closed in most of the areas, but are businesses closed? And how are people getting around? How are they navigating?
Most businesses are open. Some things like government offices with delayed opening around HRM and much of the province. Halifax Public Libraries delaying openings until this afternoon. As you mentioned, the majority of schools are closed with the exception of Annapolis Valley and Digby. But for the most part, I think people are getting around okay. There's been lots of, messages being sent out by Halifax Police, by RCMP, and government offices saying, hey, if you got to be out, just slow down. Take your time. Halifax Transit's been very active on social media today, sending out a post not too long ago, reminding folks that saying, hey, the roads are really slippery. These buses take a long time to slow down if we need to hit a stop. So please make sure that if you're at a stop, that you're waving. Make sure we see you in plenty of time because the buses need time to slow down. So for the most part, it's a slow go. Some snarls in certain areas, some cars skidded off the road, nothing major. It's just a really slow commute.
Well, I imagine people are kind of used to it considering they're still living with the dump from the last storm. What about flights? I know there was a lot of snow. It came down fast at the airport yesterday. Have they managed to clean things up and get rid of the backlog?
Yeah, Stanfield International Airport reporting that, they are now in clearing process and they're just advising travelers, check ahead. Check your flights well ahead of time to see if it's canceled, rescheduled, delayed. Saying also, again, give yourself plenty of time if you need to make it out to the airport to get a flight that still might be going. I did see a post that Pearson Airport in Toronto saying that at least 5 flights from Toronto to Halifax have been delayed, or excuse me, from Halifax to Toronto have been delayed today. Flights from Toronto to Halifax on schedule, but again, cleanup operations underway, and the airport just saying, you know what? Check online, call ahead and see, because with this snow, your flight could very well be delayed or canceled.
Scott, I can hear that wind in your microphone. I can see it blowing the trees behind you. So I imagine that's also, yeah, get some gloves on. I want to show everybody sort of a live shot of what it looks like in various parts of the province. This is from Tancook Island Wharf. And I don't think that you can see this picture, but you can just see that the ground, that the pier, everything is covered in snow.
It is, Anne-Marie, and I can see that, and scenes like that playing out right across the province. And you're absolutely right to mention the wind. An unofficial report that there was a wind gust at Halifax Airport yesterday reaching 127 kilometers an hour, which, if found to be true, that would be the highest wind gust at Halifax Airport in February in the last 50 years.
Wow.
And that's another thing. There's going to be some potential for onshore flurries blowing in, snow blowing around, making visibility difficult. So the snow that's down, it's really light, it's really fluffy, it's like a powder, and that wind can just kind of whip it up. And certainly if you're out driving, it
Yes.
can make driving around and commuting really tricky.
All right, and I asked you this yesterday, but I want to check in again. How are people feeling? I mean, you said it's not only been these 2 storms, but really it's been sort of 10 months of excessive weather.
It has been, and I think, I've said it before, I'll say it again, Atlantic Canadians and certainly Nova Scotians, a hardy bunch. We pride ourselves on being able to deal with a lot and bounce back. But I think there's a little bit of fatigue with some of the events that have been going on. If you go back to the wildfires, the floods, and now 2 pretty big snow events back to back. But in true maritime and Atlantic Canadian fashion, I'm seeing all kinds of people posting this morning saying, well, it looks like the snow is going to be around for a while, so I'm going to dig out my cross-country skis, my snowshoes, and I'm going to make the best of this. So that's kind of the attitude that we're taking. Have some storm chips, have a donair, and just enjoy the snow.
What are storm chips?
Storm chips, Anne-Marie, I'm going to have to get a bag and show you. There's actually a brand that's actually called Storm Chips. And basically, I don't know if it's anywhere else. I know that here in the Maritimes of Nova Scotia, if there's any kind of report of a storm, there's a run on the grocery stores, and the chip shelf is empty. People like to just sit back. Some folks say have a popcorn. In the Maritimes of Nova Scotia, it's grab your chips and just enjoy.
I hope you have lots of storm chips. I love this show because I learn something new every day, and you've taught me something new today. Scott Squires, thanks so much.
Pleasure as always. Thanks, Anne-Marie. And I'll get some storm chips because I'm sure there'll be a next time.
I cannot wait to see what these are.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.